auditing theory, guys, is talks about Philippine standards on auditing. So I don't know if you guys know this. So for all of you, you should be reading standards, auditing standards. Okay? Those auditing standards, you have around maybe 37 or 55, I think. So sobrang tagal nang hindi ko binasa. Okay? Nakalimutan ko na ilang. I think ang tanda ko before is I have read 37 PSAs, yung mga importanteng what is this? Important standards. So, napaka-importante ng kailangan malaman mo yung mga key standards, okay? Philippine standards auditing. So yeah, so you just have to, let us say, ano ba yung mga important standards. So it's very important. Let me just write. Teka, nawawala, no? Mabagal. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so standards, examples of standards are the framework. That's very important to know. What is the framework that's, I think kapag nabasa niyo yung framework of auditing, you will have an overview in terms of how to attack your auditing theory, auditing problems. I think auditing theory is the, doon lumalabas yung mga questions mostly sa standards. That's the basic. As let us say, for example, ako yung examiner, I will go into the standards, and then of course I will look into the practical application of that. So just make your foundation sa auditing theory strong by reading standards. Okay? Objective of auditor, why are you auditing? So nandyan yan sa standards na yan. Let us say the terms of agreement, that's also very important. The quality of your audit, quality controls, what are you doing as an auditor in terms of maintaining the quality of your paperworks, of your auditing, of auditing the financial statements. Okay, how you're going to document the audit. Okay, documentation is as well very important. Reports, auditor's report. Okay, nandun yung mga examples of what are the auditor's report. So we will have a discussion as well on the exercises, samples of reports. We have situation and then reports. Okay, and then what else in terms of your responsibility in terms of the fraud? If you have in terms of fraud, if you have do you have the fraud responsibility? Whose responsibility is the fraud detection, whatever kind of fraud is that, sino may responsibility, anong dapat gawin ng auditor. So you should know, you should read about it. Okay? In terms of how to communicate the issues, to communicate things that you need as an auditor, communicate things that the management or your client needs to know in terms of the standards or how you do the audit. Okay, so PSA is very important, guys. If sa tingin nyo nahihirapan kayo sumagot ng multiple choices, it's because you don't have the basic or the foundation of auditing, which is the standards. Okay, so that's very important, guys. No, standard. You should know the standard. But anyway, we are discussing this in detail in our CPA online review school. So I cannot discuss this to you here, syempre. Okay, matagal yan, dami niyan, 37. In terms of, so these are the things that we are discussing as well. Internal controls, okay, auditor's report. So these are the things that are very important that you know. Business processes. So when I say business processes, you have the accounts payable process, you have the expense process, the investment process, you know, treasury process. Okay, and then from there, because from this process, you will know what are the issues in terms of your internal control. Okay, you will know the impact in the financial statement. Okay? That's what you're going to do in terms of substantive testing. Okay? So guys, if you can understand, or I mean if you have not master, but at least familiarize, okay? If you can familiarize this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think you are good in terms of auditing theory. So you can pass 35 items for auditing theory. I'm telling you. Okay? I'm telling you that's easy. It's easy to comprehend. Okay? Now, moving forward, okay, one of the example is, let us say, let me just we will discuss the samples in our exercises. So this is just an overview, guys. Okay, in terms of how to attack auditing theory. Okay, so if you want to, you can search, you can buy books, internal control. Yeah, this is a very important. Okay, and then of course, so that's for auditing theory. What are the things that you need to know in terms of auditing theory? And then for auditing problem naman, okay, which is the practical concept. Ito na yung tinasabi natin na you should know how to connect the dots, okay, in terms of the accounting standard. So just guys, no, accounting standard is different from the auditing standards. Okay, let me be clear on that. Okay, accounting standards, kung ano ito yung ginagamit ng mga accountant. Okay, auditing standards is the basis or the framework of auditors. Okay, so may mga nalilito dyan in terms of that. Accounting standards, so ito yung PRAC 1. So your foundation should be strong in PRAC 1 or financial reporting, PFRS. So if I'm going to attack auditing problems, I would focus more on understanding the basic. Kasi sinasabi nila, ang board exam is basic. Yeah, because you need, everything will go back into the basic, which is the standard. Okay? So accounting standards, so you have the standards for inventory, for investment, right? For financial instrument. Guys, lahat sa standards yan. So you just have to read. You just have to understand. You have to comprehend. When you read the standards, punta ka doon sa multiple choice. Okay? That's how I attack auditing problems before. Because for me, I don't have a strong foundation talaga. I'm sorry guys, I have to be honest. Okay? I was a student like you before. Pareho tayo naging student. We're in. Ako kasi ang ginagawa ko lang, magre-review ako, i-memorize ko, kailangan naintindihan ko kung ano yung sample. But that's it. Pagkatapos ng exam, lumilipad na. Okay? So the root of the foundation of the foundation of my accounting is very weak. Okay? So, pagdating ko sa review school, somehow, nakakahabol naman, but I strategize. So, hindi pwede yung sagot ka lang ng sagot. You have to understand yourself. Understand yourself. Saan ka ba mas mahina? Saan ka ba malakas? Alright? So, in accounting standards, nakalagay dyan, malalaman mo kung ano yung assets, kung ano yung liabilities, capital, okay, revenue and expenses. So, malalaman mo yan, guys. So, one step at a time. One step at a time sa auditing problem. Okay? One step at a time. So, hindi mo kailangan magmadali. If 3 years ka nang graduate, 2 years ka nang graduate, actually, meron kaming 1995 na students. I mean, 1995 pa siyang graduate na students. Now, merong mga nag-i-inquire na I think 1985 yung pinaka-latest na nag-inquire. Just imagine, guys. Okay? So, yeah, ang dami lamang na lamang kayo Okay, in terms of your time, in terms of the mind, okay, yung how active your mind is, kung paano makakapag-absorb. Okay, mas kaunti lang yung, huwag yung isipin na 3 years or number of years, ang dami yung hahabulin. Ganun din yung number of years na habulin nyo. Hindi eh. The point is, okay, the point is, marami. Okay, I mean, the same yung concepts, but if you read the new standards, mas madali siyang i-absorb because you already have idea before. Okay, so that's the, okay, all right. So now we will proceed in our next topic, which is the meat of our discussion, which is the exercises for our topic. So let me just get my materials for this. I will just post, okay, and then I will share it to you. Okay. All right, so let's start. Let's start answering this. So what best describe an assurance engagement? So guys, no, assurance engagement, when you say assurance engagement, ito yung audit. All right, wherein you are giving reasonable assurance. So yan yung sinasabi nating audit. So there are, because this is one of the services that an audit CPA can give. So what are the services that just take note when you in per standard, you have the assurance and you have the related services. Okay, or let us say these are the moderate assurance. Okay, and then you are giving no assurance. So these are the kind of reports that an auditor is providing. So this assurance is divided into what kind of service? Auditing. Okay, the other one is what? I think this is review. Okay, and then of course, no assurance. So guys, merong mga reports tayong ginagawa na kung saan there are no assurance, which is agreed upon, and then the other one is compilation. Okay? So from this, so guys, this is very important kung saan naka-table na yan, ano? So from here, when you are auditing, you are giving high assurance but not absolute. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi siya 100%. May risk pa din. Okay? From review point of view, you are just giving moderate assurance. Of course, here, no assurance and no assurance. So remember this table, guys, kasi ang daming pwedeng makuhang question dito sa board exam. Okay? In terms of the report na binibigay, of course, this is positive assurance. This is negative assurance. Okay? This is about when you say factual, I mean agreed upon procedure is based on the agreement between the client and you as an auditor. So this is based on the what are the facts that you had observed in those observation or agreed upon procedures that you perform. Okay, and then of course compilation is more on the identification of information that you obtain. Okay, so there's nothing much, parang magko-compile ka lang ng report on this. So it's more on the identification of okay. So from here guys, makukuha natin kung ano ba ang kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng assurance engagement. An assurance engagement in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion, yes, that is true, designed to enhance the degree of confidence on the intended users other than the responsible party about the outcome of the or measurement of. Yes, this is true. An engagement in which a practitioner determines the outcome of the evaluation or measurement of is the information that from. So there should be a conclusion, an engagement. So I think letter A gives the complete definition of assurance engagement. So we would go on letter A. Number 2, in which situation is the auditor most likely not to include So, not likely, guys. Yung tanong is not likely. So, if there's an emphasis of matter, these are significant or let us say unusual transaction. And then, of course, yeah, I think significant and unusual transaction ang pinaka keywords for emphasis of, or if you want to put a paragraph for emphasis of a certain event or a matter. So, let us say letter A is unusual. Yes, significant transactions. Okay. Yeah, yan katulad nito, in COVID, saan ba natin ilalagay yan, ano? Is it emphasis of a matter or going concern assumption na ba tayo? So, yeah, it's for let us say an important audit procedure was performed, letter D. So, which is most likely, okay? Not likely to be included in the emphasis of a matter. So, ang hirap ang daming let us say in terms of let us say sa COVID may issue ang mga auditor dito, no? Kasi it's so sad and it's not included in the yeah, Jolina, please mute your audio, please. We can hear you. Okay. And number 3, so number 2 is letter D. Number 3 is in some assurance engagement, the evaluation of or measurement. Ayun, of the subject matter is performed by the responsible party and a subject matter in the form of assertion, yan, by the responsible party that is made available to the intended user. So yeah, yeah, it's letter A. So meron ka ng one of the strategies that I do before if I don't know the concept, kasi most of you maybe hindi nyo pa nababasa, okay, yung standards. So yeah, you just have to be conscious or let us say yung mata nyo mabilis in terms of ano ba yung hinahanap. Right? So yeah, because this is definition of terms. Number 3 is definition of terms. Okay, so we would go for letter A. Number 4, a practitioner reporting on engagement that is not assurance engagement. Okay. So as not to, let me just check kung ano yung so guys, hindi ko nakikita yung mga questions nyo ngayon, yung messages nyo. Because I'm focused on the discussion. A practitioner reporting on engagement that is not an assurance engagement. Okay, clearly distinguish that report from an assurance so as not to confuse users and report that is not an assurance. So ano daw? Okay, anong kailangan mong ilagay as an auditor para hindi confusing ang iyong report? So, tignan natin guys. So, may all of the above. Okay, implying compliance, yeah, you should avoid this. Since hindi naman assurance report ang ginagawa mo, you should avoid also assurance, audit, or review. You should also avoid, yeah, tama. So, letter D. Number 4 is letter D. Teka, daming tanong ha. Okay, number 5, a practitioner accepts an assurance engagement only where the practitioner preliminary knowledge of engagement indicates that relevant. Sorry guys, naghahang ako. A practitioner accepts an assurance engagement only. Okay, where the practitioner preliminary knowledge of the engagement circumstances indicates that. So, ang tanong niya dito guys is, kailan mo i-accept ang engagement? When is it acceptable? So that's one of the ideas here. Okay? And then sinasabi niya is only where kung saan meron ng knowledge ang practitioner or ang auditor, except kailan, when, except, okay? Except kasi lahat to sinasabi niya A, B, C, D, All of these are acceptable except one. Okay? Relevant ethical requirements such as independence and professional competence will be satisfied. So this is true. Okay? You should satisfy as a practitioner. You should satisfy that you are totally independent or you don't have a significant influence over your client. Letter B is the engagement exhibits that the subject matter is appropriate. Okay? Criteria used are suitable. Yes, these are all positive words, okay, that will help you accept an engagement. Okay? See, if there is a significant limitation on the scope, no. If there's a significant limitation, wag mo nang i-accept. Right? So, kasi at the end of the day, ano pang work ang gagawin mo? Okay? You will just issue what? A disclaimer report for this. Okay, so 5 is letter C. Okay, 5 is letter C. Let me just write that. Okay, number 6, what are the elements of an assurance engagement? Elements of an assurance engagement, so meron kang practitioner, meron kang responsible party, which is your client or whoever it is na nag-engage sa'yo, and then of course the agreed users. So letter A. Number 7 is relative to prospective financial statements. A practitioner may not accept an engagement to prospective financial statements. So may agreed ka. Yes, this is perform an examination, perform a review, perform a compilation. Yeah, it's letter C. Number 7 is letter C. Okay. Let's redo. Number 8, which of the following is the subject matter information of non-financial? Ito, maganda, no? Non-financial information daw. Okay? So, if you guys, yan ito yung mga logic dito, no? If non-financial performance, so it's more about, titignan mo, assertion about effectiveness. This talk about financial statements. Okay? Specifications of document, it could be. Okay? It's possible, specifications of documents, possible na financial. Okay? Recognition measurement, when you say measurement, presentation, disclosure in the financial statement, that these are financial statements. Key indicators of effectiveness and efficiency. So if you're going to choose A and C, you have to analyze, guys. When you say KPI, key indicators, effectiveness and efficiency, this talks about the performance of the company. So, performance, so sinasabi niya dito, non-financial performance conditions of an entity. So, performance of an entity is derived through KPI, key performance activities. So, number 8 is letter A. Number 9, which of the following is the subject matter information of physical characteristics, for example, capability or of a facility? Yun. So, in terms of physical characteristics, yun. Yeah. See, guys, may tip ka na agad dito, 8 and 9. Capacity of a facility. Where in a facility, meron na kang complete ang documents. Okay? That's one of the requirements in terms of, let us say, quality standards in a certain facility. Okay? So, specification of documents or specific documents. Okay? Specification documents, sorry guys. So letter C. Which of the following subject matter information of system and processes such as entity, internal control, or IT systems? So tingnan natin. Which of the following? So this talks about entities, internal control, or IT system. So this is the talks about performance. This is about the financials. This is about the facility. So, assertion about effectiveness. Yes. So, when you say assertion about effectiveness, di ba guys, ang internal control of the company is impacting the what? Is impacting the financial statement, which is financial statements, what you are auditing the financial statements, the assertion. And when we say assertions, ano yung mga assertions na yan? Those are the cash balances. Okay, so connected yan guys, ano? So number 10 is letter D.